The Congo Massacre, humanity's unforgettable darkness. The Congo Massacre, a tragedy that has left a dark stain on humanity's conscience. It unfolded amidst the agonizing cries of thousands of innocents in the heart of Africa. The greed and dark dealings of King Leopold II marked the genesis of this tragic event. However, the most heart-wrenching detail was the shattered dreams of children, severed from their hands and feet. Have you ever looked into your child's eyes and seen the remnants of such cruelty? This tragedy left a pain too deep to be expressed in mere numbers. By learning from this dark past, we can prevent humanity from repeating its mistakes. Yet, the scars of the Congo Massacre will forever linger in humanity's conscience, leaving behind a legacy filled with profound questions. Now, are you ready to delve into the depths of this dark period without disrupting the coherence of understanding? Let's illuminate the unforgettable darkness of humanity's history together. Towards the end of the 19th century, Europe's attention turned to the hidden riches deep within Africa. The winds of colonialism swept across the continent, and one of the darkest events of this era would be the transformation of the Congo into King Leopold II of Belgium's personal backyard. In the early 1890s, Leopold set out to conquer the rich natural resources of the Congo. However, his goal was not only to seize the lands, but also to line his own pockets. The trade in rubber and ivory was more than just commodities to Leopold. It was a golden opportunity. However, behind this ambitious plan emerged one of humanity's darkest faces. For Leopold, the Congo was not just a colony, but also his personal property. People's lives were shaped by Leopold's greed for profit and ruthless desires. Slavery, forced labor, and brutal punishments became the norm in the dark lands of the Congo. The Congolese people were seen merely as tools for extracting resources. And this exploitation not only filled Leopold's pockets, but also devastated the lives of thousands of innocents. Understanding this dark period and learning from history is crucial today, because the Congo Massacre is not just a history lesson, but also one of the most vivid examples of humanity's dark side. However, while this story arouses curiosity, it also has the potential to teach future generations valuable lessons. In the heart of Central Africa lies the Democratic Republic of the Congo, a vast expanse of land bordered by neighboring countries such as the Republic of Congo, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and many others. With its expansive territory, it stands as one of the largest countries on the continent. In the pre-colonial era, this land was governed by various kingdoms and was a hub of active trade. However, following the age of exploration, it captured the attention of European powers. Along its coastline on the Atlantic Ocean, Europeans engaged not only in trade, but also in the grim business of slave trading, affecting the lives of approximately 5 million individuals. Belgium's engagement with these lands began as other European powers ventured into the region. Belgium sought to compete with other nations for influence in the area. King Leopold's desire to exploit the riches of the Congo, coupled with the support of explorer Henry Stanley, led to his dispatch to the Congo in 1879. Establishing the International African Association, purportedly to civilize the continent and end the slave trade, Leopold was recognized as the ruler of Congo at the Berlin Conference of 1885, effectively making Congo his personal property. Although King Leopold never set foot in the Congo, he occupied an area nearly 80 times the size of Belgium for its ivory, rubber, and other resources. The Democratic Republic of the Congo has emerged as a country marked by the traces of this complex history, yet filled with richness and diversity. Its future will undoubtedly be shaped by lessons learned from its past and present. In the early years of colonial rule in Congo, ivory held significant importance. The king established various colonial systems to exploit riches like ivory and rubber. Ivory, a precious commodity used in sculptures, jewelry, piano keys, and more, was a vital source of income for Leopold during this period. As industrialization flourished in Europe in the early 1890s, rubber emerged as a new source of wealth. The advent of bicycle tires and the growing demand for rubber in the automotive industry created a global need for this versatile material. Due to the lengthy maturation period of rubber trees, countries with access to these trees had a significant advantage. During this era, Congo, possessing the largest rubber-producing trees, was exploited by Belgium as a major source of revenue. One of the most appalling aspects of rubber production was the ruthless exploitation of local people. Workers were subjected to harsh conditions, and those who rebelled were brutally punished, often having their hands and feet amputated to enforce compliance. As rubber prices rose, quotas increased, and men who failed to meet quotas for ivory or rubber faced severe punishment, including amputation of their limbs. By the late 19th century in Congo, the rubber industry became synonymous with severed hands. Children were also employed in these brutal operations, subjected to merciless exploitation and often killed. The exploitation and violence inflicted upon the Congolese people during this dark period are haunting reminders of the atrocities committed in the pursuit of profit. It's a painful chapter in human history, one that must be remembered and learned from to ensure such horrors are never repeated. All local people were forcibly employed in all jobs. Most of the working women died of hunger, and most of the male rubber collectors were forced to work in harsh conditions. Thousands of people who wanted to escape from these harsh working conditions took refuge in the forests, but nothing changed, and their lives remained the same as those of the employed Congolese. Some groups of local people tried to oppose the exploitation system in their countries. These rebellions were suppressed with firearms. Because the high number of people killed posed a new burden on the Belgian economy, in order to reduce this situation, soldiers were required to hand over the hands of the person they killed for each bullet they used to prove that the bullets were not wasted. If someone was shot and missed, or if the bullet was used unnecessarily, the hand of a living victim was cut off and shown to the officer. These harsh working conditions plunged the local people into deep despair and hopelessness. Women died of hunger, men perished under the weight of heavy labor. Despite fleeing to the forests to escape, the fate of the employed Congolese remained unchanged. Some local groups attempted to resist the exploitation system in their homeland. However, these rebellions were brutally suppressed with firearms. As the death toll rose, it became a new burden on the Belgian economy. In an effort to mitigate this, soldiers were mandated to deliver the hand of each person they killed for every bullet they used, as proof that bullets were not wasted. If a shot missed its target or a bullet was used needlessly, the hand of a living victim was severed and presented to the officer. In the heart of the Congo, amidst the shadows of exploitation and suffering, voices began to rise. Among them were those of acclaimed authors like Conan Doyle and Mark Twain, alongside the impassioned cries of journalist Edmund Morel and the compassionate endeavors of missionaries. Together, they dared to confront the harrowing realities unfolding under the reign of King Leopold. Amidst King Leopold's persistent denials, mounting outrage demanded accountability for the atrocities inflicted upon the Congolese people. And in this chorus of dissent, Alice Seeley Harris and her husband emerged as pivotal figures. Witnessing firsthand the anguish and mutilation endured by the Congolese, Alice captured countless photographs on the scene. She sought out the stories of those maimed, their hands and bodies severed, bringing their silent suffering to light through her lens. These haunting images, published throughout Europe, shook the public conscience and laid bare the grim truths concealed within the depths of the Congo. Meanwhile, in the early 1900s, journalist Edmund Dene Morel embarked on his own crusade against the brutal colonial regime. His voyages as a shipping clerk brought him into contact with the independent state of Congo, where he learned of the unspeakable atrocities being committed. Departing from his corporate role in 1901, Morel dedicated himself to exposing the horrors of Congo, wielding the power of journalism to awaken global consciousness. His tireless efforts focused on the forced labor, the conscription of children into military service, the burning of villages, and the abhorrent practice of torture. Throughout Morel's campaign, the images of severed hands, of children robbed of their innocence, of villages engulfed in flames, reverberated across the world, igniting a firestorm of outrage and indignation. In 1908, under mounting pressure from the British government and public outcry, the Belgian parliament seized control of Congo, bringing an end to King Leopold's reign of exploitation. Their collective outcry, fueled by empathy and a fervent desire for justice, echoed across continents, transcending boundaries of language and culture. It stands as a testament to the power of compassion and the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of adversity. Under the shadow of the exploitation era, many lives were shattered. Victims of ruthless methods found themselves unable to perform even the most basic agricultural tasks after losing their organs. This led to inadequate nutrition, diseases, and deaths. As mortality rates soared, men and women, forcibly segregated into separate work zones, endured traumatic experiences, and birth rates plummeted. It is estimated that between 1880 and 1920, the population of Congo declined from 20 million to 10 million. Replacing the independent state of Congo, Belgian Congo remained under Belgian colonial rule for many years. The negative practices inherited from the colonial era continue to have an impact today. Like other African countries, the Democratic Republic of the Congo insists on the international stage and in every domain that Europeans be held accountable for the genocide and colonial periods. However, a glimmer of hope shines through. In 2020, King Philippe of Belgium became the first king to make a statement about his country's colonial past. This was seen as a step towards confronting past mistakes and seeking justice. Acknowledging the pains of the past, steps are being taken to move forward with hope towards the future. I'd like to provide a brief insight into the painful past and present reflections of Congo. The brutality and oppression endured during the colonial era still reverberate today. People who have lost their organs and are unable to meet basic needs carry the scars of these traumatic experiences throughout history. However, amidst this dark past, there is a glimmer of light. The statement made by King Philippe of Belgium regarding his country's colonial past. This serves as a sign of acknowledging the pains of the past and taking steps forward. Congo not only remembers its dark history, but also looks towards the future with hope. By watching this video, explore the transformation and hope of Congo from its past to the present. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more content on this important topic.